it's Liz. And I wanted to share something about like meditation and how valuable I find movement as meditation. And it's always been really hard for me, like when I would hear people talk about meditating and quieting the mind and all that kind of stuff, and just sit, just sit quietly and don't think about anything. And as that was like supposed to be meditation, and that's not, well, one, that's not true, and I'm not sure if that's what people were really saying or if that's just what I heard them say, but I find that meditating for me is much easier to do when my body is moving or when I'm doing something else. Like, it's much easier for my mind to get like quiet if I give it something else to focus on, which is like, this is gonna sound silly, but I actually find playing like merge games like really meditative in a way, because it's giving, or like us, just some games are silly and there's too many commercials, and like, I mean, all games are silly, but if a game can engage your mind just enough, you know what I mean, to like keep you interested, and then your thought, like, while like hold that, and then let the the subconscious mind kind of drift. That kind of meditation I find really helpful. And I have a lot of sorry, I had oatmeal, and I have like oatmeal in my teeth. I have a lot of trauma in my like lived experience from childhood to like adult, like just all the time, trauma. And so it's really hard to just sit and be quiet. That's not, especially before I had done a lot of like healing work around all of my trauma. If you would tell me to do that, all I would hear would be like all of the projections from all of the abuse that I had endured, and like the reasons that I told myself that I made, to kind of like all the bad things that I said about myself, basically, and in order to like stay in those abusive situations. And those tapes would just play over and over and over again, basically like, Liz, you're a piece of shit, Liz, you're a piece of shit, Liz, you're a piece of shit, for whatever reason or another. There's so many reasons. I find that doing something meditative, like paint, like not all artwork, because some artwork is just like, or some kind of like aspects of art I have to like really pay attention to, and I can't let my mind like just vibe. But things where I can just zone out, some games that I play on my phone, skating, roller skating, dancing, music, moving to music in my body. I used to, the roller skating and the dancing is really like where the money spot is for me personally. I have a lot of water in my birth chart, and I use the sidereal zodiac. I don't use the tropical zodiac. Like, I mean, I know what my chart is in tropical, and I know what my chart is in sidereal. That's the zodiac that I use. So when I say that I have, prominent water in my chart, I'm speaking to my sidereal birth chart. And as somebody with prominent and dominant water in their sidereal birth chart, my body is where the majority of my wisdom comes from. Like the wisdom is in my body, and my body knows how to transmute negative energy much better than my brain does. My body is actually going to come up with much better like solutions to my problems than my brain will, because my brain is very indoctrinated into capitalism, patriarchy, and whiteness ideology. As decolonized as I am, and I am fucking, like, I'm very, like, and I say that not, like, I am very decolonized, and I say that because I did it myself, like, with my own blood, sweat, and tears. Like, I know exactly how decolonized I am, and I know how decolonized I am, so much that I know that I'm a 46-year-old person who was raised under capitalism, patriarchy, and whiteness ideology. I am an American, so my brain is really still very decolonized, even though I am very decolonized. I know that my brain is still very colonized, and that's why I trust in the wisdom of my body over my brain. That's why I let my body lead, and that's why I trust my body above all else. If my body says, then she's right. She knows. There might not be evidence to support what my body is telling me in what I'm seeing around me. That very well may be true. But my body, though, she sees things and senses things and interacts with things that my brain does not catch. There's an inner knowing and interacting with everything that is happening around me that my body is clocking that my brain isn't. And so I really try to listen to my body a lot, and I try to pour into my relationship with my body and center my body's comfort, so that the line of communication between me and my body is as uncluttered as possible. And yeah, I don't know if that was as eloquent at all as I kind of wanted to make that or whatever, but yeah. So listen to your body, try and do some movement stuff. I think, if you're trying to process grief, process trauma, meditate, or, otherwise get grounded or get centered through times of grief and trauma, I highly suggest doing things that you enjoy, as much as you can, and then also movement, move your body, also take a salt bath. Okay, I hope that you're having a day that's as good as possible and that you're not beating yourself up, and you get to belly laugh, dance your ass off. If you can't dance your ass off, I hope you get to shake your booty just a little bit. And if that's not your thing, then, just sit with yourself, check in with your body, because that's very important. Pour into your relationship with yourself, because it's your most important relationship. And wear a respirator mask in public spaces, because it is vitally important to take care of your health and the health of others around you. And did you know that in 2025, long COVID overtook asthma as the leading chronic illness in children? Yeah. So if it's so over, how come it's the number one chronic illness in kids? I know that math breaks the logic model of COVID being over in your head, but that logic model of COVID being over in your head, it needs to be broken. Okay? Okay. Bye.